a jumble of indistinct images unfolds. Crusaders clash with Mamluks, their broadswords slicing through flesh and spirit alike. This tableau is entangled with scenes of Ming Dynasty sailors fighting South China pirates in brutal hand-to-hand combat. Additional images coalesce, portraying Indian families ravaged by starvation. Amid this turmoil, an ancient city burns uncontrollably. Mothers, clutching their infants and young children, leap from towering walls. Their screams reverberate as they plummet, praying for divine intervention before their fatal impact. The scenes are awash with blood, violence, and chaos. Jolted awake by these nightmarish visions, a young woman sits up abruptly, her plain blue t-shirt a stark contrast to the horrors she just witnessed. Her face is etched with the residual terror of the images she's seen. As she composes herself, she gently probes her lower stomach. Is she feeling unwell because of these visions? Her expression reveals more distress. With one hand, she lifts her bed sheets, and with the other, she investigates beneath the covers, which yields stains of blood on her 2 fingers. From another room, a woman's voice pierces the silence, directed at the young girl behind the closed door.
Wake up, Leticia!
Seated at the kitchen table, Leticia appears subdued. A bowl of cereal, submerged in milk, awaits her, signaling the usual start to her day.
Eat your breakfast, you're running late. Your father had to leave early this morning,
she says while juggling 1,000 things at once and striding back and forth. Leticia, in a low tone.
I put my bed sheet in the washing machine.
Her voice carrying a subtle note of embarrassment. This statement stops her mother in her tracks. She approaches her daughter gently, crouches beside her, and rests her hand at the nape of Leticia's neck.
Are you?
Leticia acknowledges the meaning of the question with rapid nods. Her sense of vulnerability brings tears to her eyes and causes her nose to run. Sophia embraces Leticia's head and presses it to her chest.
You're no longer my baby girl, you're a woman now. But you're still my baby girl,
she says, then kisses her daughter's head with a melancholy expression. Leticia grips her mother's arm and starts sobbing more. She hasn't felt this vulnerable in years. The rush of multiple and contradictory emotions overwhelms her in this sensitive moment. She feels so glad to have her mother to rely on. Sophia asks,
Have you done what we rehearsed together?
Leticia nods in acknowledgement and then wipes her nose with her sleeve.
Good. Would you like to stay home today?
No, I'll be okay.
I'll put extra pads in your backpack. Hurry up, I'll drop you off at school,
Sophia says and kisses her daughter's head again, her smile full of pride. In class, Leticia's mind drifts away from the teacher's muffled lecture. If questioned, she couldn't even identify which class she's sitting in. Her thoughts are consumed not by the morning's events, but by a vivid, haunting dream she can recall in unsettling detail. Her pencil moves across her notebook autonomously, sketching not scenes from her nightmare, but a mix of shapes and symbols, angular birds, kanji characters possibly lifted from her manga collection, and a chaotic array of lines, triangles, crosses, eyes, slugs, knives, Spartan shield shapes, and mathematical figures. The day passes in a blur of distracted doodling, mild stomach aches, and frequent bathroom visits. After school, Leticia heads directly home, bypassing her usual routine of a run or time spent with friends. Today, she's withdrawn, a state her friends seem to intuitively understand. Clearly, this is not one of her better days. At home, she continues her routine, but with increasing discomfort. When her father arrives at his usual time, he's not surprised to see his daughter at home, and without a word, Leticia knows he's aware of her secret. This realization irks her. At dinner, the usual humorous comments from Andre about the day are more subdued than usual, with no direct questions posed to Leticia, which suits her at the time. Afterward, Leticia retreats to her room. A few minutes later, her mother follows her to see if Leticia might need more comfort. Leticia is simply sitting on her freshly made bed, and not being in the mood, she swiftly dismisses her mother. Sophia places a new box of pads in one of Leticia's drawers. Closing the drawer with both hands, Sophia looks at her daughter, sensing her pain, and reluctantly chooses to just say goodnight, with no physical contact while leaving the room. Later, Leticia reviews the abstract doodles that filled her notebook throughout the day. Feeling down, she opts for an early bedtime, hoping that tomorrow will bring a brighter mood. In the living room, Andre watches TV while Sophia nestles into his arms, curling into a fetal position with her head on his chest. A tear slips from her eye. He tenderly wraps his arm around her and whispers,
"She'll be fine."